let's start off by the big question that I have first is how do you pronounce your name?
Oh, it's Kai Zizan.
Kai Zizan.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. That is a little bit of an unusual name. I have to say I've never encountered anything like that. Where does that come from?
Um, as far as like my first name is actually a traditional Irish name.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It
Huh.
yeah, I remember looking this up in like fourth grade. And then well my last name is I don't know, my dad's side is like a lot of Russian Orthodox. I don't know, I'm not too clear on my last name, but I think it's something like that, but I could be wrong.
Okay. Now, we met at Worlds. You already mentioned that. And you were there for a very specific, well, for different reasons, obviously. But one of the reasons you were there for was because you showed off the yo-yo style that you invented. Is that right?
Yes. Yes, that was yeah, initially I was trying to do an AP, but there were a lot of submissions this year, and so but I was able to the organizers of the contest wanted me to do a demonstration though, which was, you know, that's all that really matters to me. I just wanted to like show off these ideas on stage at a yo-yo contest, you know, some way, because like there's, you know, there's not like a division for it, and it, you know, it doesn't score in 1A, so, you know, it's not really like anything that's like feasible to do at a yo-yo contest, you know. So yeah, it was really cool doing that, and yeah, it was awesome meeting like David Stushkal, for instance. I'm probably butchering his last name, but yeah, I think he's like 13, but he's a young gun on the come up. So it was really cool to like see where, you know, he's gone with it, and like other people, and just like how much room there is for it to grow, because like in the next 5, you know, however many years it takes for enough people to be doing it like regularly and having it be something that is part of their main like pursuit in terms of yo-yoing. It'll be really cool to see how the style evolves, because I can already see like it being like faster and like things that like will like score points, but you know, who knows how at this point. I have some like ideas as to how to like figure that out, but I don't know. It's still difficult.
All
But,
right.
yeah,
Be-
yeah.
yeah. Um, Before we go into like further details into that, and we actually need to talk about this really into detail because it's really a cool thing.
Sorry if that was like a long-winded answer.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. The thing that is probably on some of the viewers' mind is what is he talking about? Because we actually haven't really introduced the style that you're representing. So what exactly is it that you did there on stage?
Well, Double Dragon is it is 2 strings on 1 yo-yo, and it is really just, actually I have in my yo-yo case, my Pokemon yo-yo case. I've had this Game Boy case since I was in first grade. It's perfect for 6 yo-yos. It's perfect amount. But, yeah, literally it is just, I don't know if it's visible, but it's just 2 strings on 1 yo-yo. It's not like 2 strings that are somehow connected in some way. It's just 2 strings.
Okay. I have a video that you did together with, I think, Yo-Yo News. Here.
The tutorial?
Yeah, right. It's one of the tutorials. Let me see if I can get this up for the viewers as well. Yeah, it's running right now. So in this video, you are in a toy store, it looks like.
Yeah, that's where I work. Well, one of my jobs.
Okay, all right. And you explain in that video how that works. As I said, it's just two strings on 1 yo-yo. Do you need specific strings for that?
Well, you can use any string, but like it would be the same thing as using yarn versus like parachute cord to rock climb.
Okay.
In a sense, that's not really a good allegory, but you really need strings that are thinner. And actually, me and Paul from G String teamed up, and we have Dragon Tails now available, which is the signature string of me for Double Dragon, and it is what I will forever recommend.
Okay.
It's like a perfect thinness, and it like keeps tension really well. Like I can do whole routines without adjusting my string tension, and it's awesome. And I wanted to shout out Paul for doing this because it's great. But it's available on Yo-Yo Expert. Not sure where else, but yeah, if you can't order from Yo-Yo Expert due to region stuff or whatever it may be, then I would recommend the second best thing, which would be like Thin Kitty. Thin Kitty string works pretty well. As well as if there are any of the old just thin G string laying around, that was the string that I used for Worlds in 2013. So yeah, before that I was just using like orange polyester that was like from 2008 or something, and it just like happened to be like thinner, so like the thinnest string I could like find, so I just used that.
Okay. In the video now, we can see how you do untwisting and everything. It is actually the case that you have one end of the string on one finger and then the other end of the other string on the other hand, right?
Yeah, but there's different like modes, I'll call them, of Double Dragon, where like Tethered Dragon is where I have both strings on one finger like this. So yeah, I mean, like it's good. Just like there's lots of tricks that you can do within that, but it's also just like a great way to start learning it. Because going and trying to do like the Double Dragon bind and stuff like that, or it's really difficult at first. So it's good to start out with a Tethered Dragon, and then to branch off into Double Dragon, which is whenever you have two strings, one on each hand.
Okay. You already mentioned that you try to do that the style at an AP contest, so to speak, at Worlds, and that instead you did a demonstration. How does the yo-yo world in general react to your play style?
I think that I think that everyone has found it to be pretty interesting. I don't think that everyone's going to try it, but I think that the response has been good. I think that a lot of people feel the same way as I do about it, that it is a new style of play. And yeah, I mean, people have said good things, and there's some other really cool players who've been doing it, like Michael Curdy and people like that, who like are coming up with stuff where it's like, whoa, like, I would have never thought of that. And it's sweet to see those people's different interpretations, and like with any style. And so I think that like there's lots of like little things that I notice, I guess, about the way that people view it, that I think that people definitely do view it as such.
Right.
But, yeah, if that answers your question, I think it did.
Yeah, right, cool. You mentioned already that people come up with different styles and everything. How did you come up with that?
I just sort of I just did it, I guess. I think I wrote down like in my like in a notebook somewhere, like when I first like had the idea, but when it really came into existence, I was the first person that I ever talked about it to was Boyd Seth, who's a good friend of mine.
Right.
And yeah, so I was like telling him, like, dude, like I've been coming up with tricks with like two strings on one yo-yo, blah 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 blah. I had no idea what to call it, and we were like bouncing names like back and forth for a while, and then like he was like, yo, you should call it Double Dragon, and like it just clicked. And I think at that moment, that was the moment when I knew I had something.
All right.
Yeah, and then about like it took me like about, I'm gonna say like 6, 7 months just to like figure out like how to bind it in Double Dragon. Like that was like a lot of it because so if I may explain a little bit and then
Sure.
answer will be done. So in Double Dragon, so what's really important about it and why it's really important to figure out binding is so that I have this thing called polarity, which is it's think of it like a battery. So there's a positive and negative charge.
All right.
But so in this case, polarity is whichever string is facing closest to you, and the yo-yo is like this. So right now, I have the right string facing closest to me, which means I have a right polarity.
All right.
And now the left string is facing closest to me if I flip the yo-yo this way, and I have a left polarity. So then you have to take that into account with left turn or right turn. So whether the yo-yo is spinning this way or this way. And so when you bind, in order to, like, for me, whenever I'm playing, like, in most of my freestyles that I've done, I've kept the same polarity throughout. And so what you have to do is you have to bind on one side, catch it, and then turn, and then throw it on the other side. So that way it keeps the same polarity. But you can also throw it on the same side again to change it. And so that's, like, what I'm trying to, that's what I've been working on a lot, is branching off and do, like, a completely fluid throughout all four static states. The four static states being left polarity, right polarity, and then left turn, right turn. So like, like that. So four possibilities. Yes.
Oh wow. Okay. Coming back to when you first started out, when I read about Double Dragon, I remember that you went to a contest and did that during 1A, I think, and build that into your routine. Was that correct? When was that?
That was in 2013. Well, actually, the first time that I did it was at like Indiana States, but like definitely like the freestyle that was like the best of that was my Worlds from 2013.
Okay.
It was in Florida. But yeah, that was definitely the first major introduction of Double Dragon at all, because I think like a lot of people at that point, like only the people that I knew well had like even seen tricks or like the bind or anything. So yeah, that was like the major unveiling, and then I did it for half the freestyle, and then I switched into 1A because I also wanted to present my 1A tricks as well.
All right.
And at that point in time, though, it also like, because like I just got the thin strings like at Worlds, so like, and I had to figure out like I made that freestyle up the 2 nights before, a night before, and I just had all the right components. And yeah, and like I couldn't even. It was like really scary to me to like go to 2 binds, like to bind twice. It was, yeah, it was like something that was real nerve-wracking at first, but I don't know. Now it's like, it's cool to see how it's like just progressed from that freestyle to this year at Prague.
Right.
Even from like my 2013 Worlds to my 2013 Nationals, like the Nationals freestyle I did last year is probably like one of my favorites I've ever done.
All right.
So I would recommend that if anyone wants to watch one of my freestyles.
Okay. Looking into the future, what do you see? What do you expect? Where does Double Dragon go from here?
Well, I hope it only goes up. Well, I don't know. I at the same time though, not to feel cocky, but I don't think that I have to hope. I think that people are starting to more and more like gradually want to try it out, and as more people go on, or as more time goes on with the people in it in the time, then sorry, I was trying to make a joke, but it's yeah, I mean, I think that the way that people are going with it, like I also wanted to shout out Gabor. He's from I believe he's from Budapest, but he has lots of really cool double dragon tricks and a lot of really cool tethered dragon tricks where you have 2 strings on one hand. It was really cool meeting him at Worlds as well. And there was a few other players that were not from the States that were at Worlds that were doing stuff with it, and it was pretty cool. And a lot of them were like young. You know, whenever there's still a lot of time for like a lot of these young kids to like, you know, learn new things for the novelty of it. You know, I feel like as a lot of yo-yoers grow older, and especially like competitive yo-yoers, you know, maybe it just gets to a point where you're just so hardwired in your tricks and you're afraid to try anything new. I mean, I definitely think that, you know, that happens to everyone. It's happened to me at points. You know, it's you just got to keep pushing that. And I mean, I think you can do that at any age, and you know, I think anyone can do that. But just specifically going back to my main point was, you know, where these kids are going to go with it, especially like David and Gabor's young too, and Curdy, and you know, Kerbal has crazy tricks, and you know, someone like Kerbal is really cool about because how he's into it and like the stuff that he comes up with it. He's also, you know, a great 1A player. Yeah. And it's really cool whenever you have like these players that already have like kind of like a definition of themselves within yo-yoing, and you know, they're trying this new thing and coming up with some pretty cool stuff. So yeah, I definitely think that it is going to. I think that within the next 10 years, something is going to change with the divisions.
All right.
That is my guess.
All right. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. So it's always good to see people innovate on our little hobby and our little passion here. And whenever you think you've seen it all already, something like Double Dragon comes along that makes you go, huh? At first, and then you're just fascinated, and eventually you want to try it yourself. I haven't yet, but maybe one day I will check out the tutorial and give it a try, and because it's really cool. And yeah, thanks for your insight into that world of Double Dragon. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, I guess for everyone watching or whatever, if you I also, in addition to yo-yoing, I also make music, and I you know, do stuff like that. And if you want to check any of that out, go to soundcloud.com/RG-the-rotator.
All right.
And yes, so you can find all that. And yeah, this next year I think is going to be full of really, really cool things that are going to be happening. So yeah, I am looking forward to this year, and for those of you watching and you, I hope I see you guys in Tokyo. Because yeah, that's definitely gonna try and make worlds for sure.
All right.
Gonna have some cool stuff planned.
Wonderful. All right, Keith, thanks for making this happen. And
Wait,
pardon?
You totally said key.
I did?
I think you totally said key.
Oh, sorry for that.
No, it's fine. I was just giving you shit.
Well, anyway, thanks for having taken the time. It's always difficult to come up with a suitable time for both of us, especially since I'm in Germany, you were in the US, and everything, so that everything works here. Thanks for letting us in on Double Dragon, and everybody can look forward to Worlds 2015 and new videos from you on YouTube as well. And also make sure to check out his music on SoundCloud, right?
Yep.
I'll make sure to post the link on the description later on.
Sweet.
Okay.
All right. Good stuff. Good talking with you, man.
All right. Bye-bye then.
See ya.
Thanks for watching this video. Please like it and also leave a comment. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, where you can find the full Throwlicious live episode of this video, and check out the other clips and episodes there as well. Finally, get more information about the show and the Spin Central channel on Facebook, Twitter and Ask.fm. I always love to hear from viewers what they think of the show, so don't be a stranger and stay in touch.